Hello and welcome back to Factorio Space Exploration and Krastorio 2. So, today I've been thinking we are now somewhere halfway to what I would consider the late game sciences, I guess. It's this matter one. And then we have the advanced ones as well that require a little bit of everything, and then we have the deep space science. I guess this is the three late game things that are available, so we're about halfway through this other stuff. Now the issue is more and more of these things that we are doing right now, for example modules, they will start to require these catalogs and other things. So it's getting less and less viable to do this. And then we're also speaking like the amount of charging that we have available and the amount of robot attrition that we have in space makes this not a very particularly viable strategy. So I've been thinking maybe it's time that we start fixing that and start going to a train-based system. We did start preparing this down here. This is basically transfer stations to space. And I think the system works pretty well. I think it works pretty well so far. However, before we start with separating stuff in space, I want to do a couple of things here. We need to update our blueprints here. I need to find a spot where I can do that though. Maybe we do it here. We just do this, and then we can mark anything that's not a roboport or whatever for deconstruction, and we can clean that up. So we're going to do a way more train things now. And unfortunately, our blueprints are not particularly easy to use right now. Can we maybe get rid of this, yeah? Okay, I even want to get rid of like this one maybe. Maybe even this one. Okay. So I want to update these. And make sure that they are a little bit easier to use. This is a loading station. So the question is, can I make a passive provider with a parameter 0? For the loading station, I don't think we need any other parameters, really. Can I do this? what's this other value? I don't know what these are. Where they come from, really. Okay, let's do that. Let's, for example, say we're providing, what do I know, motors. So that immediately goes into passive provider motor. That's all good. Okay. Now we take the unloading station instead. This will be parameter 0. And this will then be request parameter 0. That should be it, yeah. Select this. What to request. Boom. Let's say we want gear wheels. We have gear wheels. It will request gear wheels. Easy peasy. Good. We also have the transfer station. Now this is a little bit more annoying. This will be parameter 0. This will be request parameter 0. And this will be this kind of provider, parameter 0. Right. And then we take this, select new content. What item to request / provide. Save. Delete. Transfer station. Let's say barrels, for example. You get barrels, you're requesting barrels, you are providing barrels to space. Okay. Very nice. So now we've basically prepared those stations. Let's deal with the fluid as well. Fluid loading station here. We are going to remove this. And this. Wait, was that a... It's an unloading station, thank you very much. Let's update the pumps here. Two steel pumps, this should go pretty quickly. And then we'll have these. That ain't gonna work. It's gonna be like that. And this would be for sure requesting. So this will be request parameter 0, enable when parameter 0 is less than 2k. No. Unloading station. What to request? Big boy. Then we remove this and we put out a fuel loading station here. We can send all of this, yeah. Let's do the same thing here with steel pumps. And we'll do the same thing here with substations. Oh, I don't like the spacing. Let's do that. And then we'll place that there. This is a provider. So this will be providing parameter 0. Let's go in here. This is the unloading station. Loading station. Update with this. Save. We delete this. We put out this here. I'm just gonna do this. Because having all the stations there is not really a great option. So we're gonna have to build those by hand, I think. Which is fine. And then we also have this. Okay. Can we make a copy of this? A copy of this. And a copy of this. Blueprint converter. Boom. There we go. That should all be fine and good and converted. Okay, so now we spent 15 minutes here converting some bullshit blueprints because of reasons, but this will really make our job easier going forward. Okay. So, today's goal will probably be to see if we can get a little bit of this easy peasy science out of this science block here that we have. This one, for example. I think we start with space science pack. Now, most of these are actually pre-made items that we have, but the space transport belt is not. And space transport belt doth require a couple of things. One of those things is small electric motor, which we don't really have in any great quantities. So let's pick a spot here. I'm just gonna go for the easiest, most accessible spot that we have, which is here. And we're gonna plop this down here. Boom. Now, to make this science here, we're gonna need a couple of things. Processing units, solid fuel, stone, cosmic water, and then all the 3 things that we need for the space transport belt. So this is quite a lot of traffic to this particular spot. The fluid thing is going to be the most annoying, unfortunately. Where did that thing go? I would be kind of inclined to put this somewhere here. Let's see if we can do, let's say, we put this here. You are gonna request, let's say, processing units. And then we take the fluid thing. And we put that here. Actually, we'll have to put that there with a firm hand because we have a roboport there. So we'll have to put that there with a very firm hand. Let's place a couple of these roboports here. Now, the good thing about this particular science is that we don't need any thermofluid. Thermofluid here doesn't do anything, but we do need the cosmic water. We need processing units, solid fuel, and stone. So let's get those things in here. So we're gonna need this. Stone is the thing that I'm looking for, which would be here. And then solid rocket fuel. Rocket fuel. This bad boy. I think we're doing this just to make this a little bit easier to connect. I'll connect these, connect this, connect that. And then we need to make the belt as well. Space belt is lubricant, which we can get in up here. Steel plate, low density structure, and small electric motor. Let's get... small electric motor. I'll be jumping over here, I think. Steel plate. Low density structure. Then we'll do this, that, that. Which unfortunately means that these are no longer power connected. Just gonna put this here. Hopefully that's gonna solve the thing. These roboports are not really that needed. Okay, now that we have all the inputs sorted, we also want an output. And the beautiful output here will be this. And it will not be there either. I think it will be there, yeah. That looks pretty good. Yeah, and you will provide science. And to start with, you will just be putting that in there. You won't be sending that on a train. So that seems like a little bit of a waste. Not gonna lie. Okay, all of this is extremely unpowered right now. Let's put that in there. I think that's more reliable. Now I need lubricant here and cosmic water. This here is cosmic water. Oh, that's really fucking annoying. So I basically need this station. I'm gonna put that here for now. This will be parameter 0. Parameter 0. I think we set this to 2k. I want it to be pretty empty before we do anything. Let's delete that. Let's get this. What to request. I'm gonna put that in here. We are going to put this here. We said cosmic water. And then we said lubricant. Alright, I fucked that up. We'll put that there. Okay. So far, so good. You are struggling with that, okay. Well, while this is building, one of the things that we are going to be needing a lot of, that small electric motor. And frankly, we've been struggling a lot with that for a while. Whoops. Maybe I shouldn't speed past the train in that speed. Let's go down to Novice and see what we can do. Okay. We have a couple of options here. we can either make small electric motors with rare metals, which I think we absolutely should at this point, or we can make it with iron, copper, and iron gear wheel. Now, the biggest save here is on the copper side. Although, I have to say, this is not really a save for that much. The iron cost per gear wheel is exactly the same. But we need a little bit less copper. I mean, it's very, very tiny amount saved. But we're gonna be doing that anyway. We need a suitable location for this. I don't particularly care that much about it. I'm eyeing this. Let's do this here. We haven't been using this for a while. Let's see if we can find the correct thing here. Plop this out. So for this recipe, we need iron, copper, and rare metals to go in. So we take our newly built stations here. If I can stop fiddling with the thing and get to the actual stuff. So we need iron. We need copper. And we need rare metals. We just send this in here. And for all this juice, we are going to provide some very nice electric motors. And we can do this. And we can do that. And I think we also should be landfilling this. Why not? We have a lot of landfill at this point. So let's actually use that landfill. We can send that as well, yeah? Okay. Lots and lots of landfill. Now my FPS and UPS are going to be tanked for a bit. But let's go down there and take a look at the recipe that we're going to be using and what kind of layout that I want. So, I think pretty much this is the most efficient we can be, you know? I mean, we can do advanced assembling machine at this point. Will that save us anything? That's the question. So we could do something like this. Oh no, that's just one. That would be 2, and then we can make a compact beacon here that does its thing. And then we can do this, and I don't think there's any way we can provide enough to this. Like right now, we are making about 600 per minute. And let's see what we can... Let's see what degenerate stuff we can make here. This makes 210 right off the bat. Which is 420 for 2. And I think we need to rank this a bit. So what if we do this? This is power neutral. Okay, yeah. That definitely cranked it. Holy moly. Okay, so if we can feed this... If we can feed this... with enough copper, we might have a deal here. But the copper thing is gonna be the main issue here. So this blue belt thing... We can do this, for example, and fit this together in here. And we can also mirror this and get that out on the other side. Which isn't too terrible. Now, the amount of copper that we need here... We need 4 belts. We need 4 full belts of copper wire. How much is this cable? That's not a lot, is it? Yeah, okay. So if we make cable like this, also gear wheels probably. So those are the two things that we need. Iron we just put directly in. So we need 3. Yeah, this is 1 belt each, basically. But that's not so bad, in my opinion. We can do this. Or we can just do this, I guess. Then, let's see. Oh man, this is not even enough. That ain't even enough. I don't think that's enough either. Okay. That's what we have to settle for. This is not exactly power neutral. But it is what it is. I mean, can we get this to be the thing that I need? Okay, we're gonna say that that's what we need. And we're gonna need to take this out like so. 2 belts. 2 belts. Okay, gear wheels. You need what? You need 1.6. This is not. This ain't 1.6. This is more like it. You can share a belt as an output. That's okay. Are we out of rare metals? We are very much out of rare metals. It's a problem we haven't had before. Either way, this thing here is what we use to feed this. So we can put that in there. Easy peasy. Yeah. Stop trashing things, please. So, each of these needs basically half a belt of iron. So if iron can be here, then gear wheels go over here. This also goes over there. This goes this way. And we'll have this come out here. Whoops. That's fine. This is not very pretty by any means. Okay. We'll take this out here. I'm wondering. Yeah, I think we do that. I think we do that. I think we just do that. So we take the rare metals out here instead. I don't think that will... maybe. Maybe that. And we'll just do that. It's a lot of loaders in this build. You don't particularly need that much iron for this. One early. So we'll do that. Take this out here. I'll do that. Perfect. This ain't gonna work, is it? Because you need a full blue belt. That's why I wanted to do this thing. That's why I wanted to do this thing. Okay, now this suddenly became kind of stupid. I did not think this through. Because you only need like half a belt of this. Why did I think this was a good idea? Why did I think this was a good idea? Okay, let's grab these. So this here will be the copper, yeah? We're just dragging this up here. That's fine. Now, this here needs to be combined. So here we combine. And then we drag this down here. And then this here is copper. No. That actually comes down here. And here. And then this we combine. Okay. Does that make a little bit more sense now, maybe, yeah? then that goes in there. I'm not sure we will have the need for any motor stations down here. But I will assume that we do. So this is requesting motors. That is providing them upstairs. Perfect. Perfect. Let's put out a train as well. Okay, and all of this actually needs to be upgraded to blue belt, please. Because otherwise this build ain't gonna work. But that's fine. We'll just do that. Now we need to do a couple of train related things here. Some train related things need to be done. Let's head over to our trusty train spot. Wait for this to be constructed. How are we doing in orbit? Well, a lack of motors has made this kinda annoying. But the motor shortage up here is very soon over. Like very, very soon over. Oh, I wish I could like automate this thing, but I don't think I can properly. Which is a shame. Let's build another train. Like, the only way to be automatically deploying trains is probably use a mod for it, like LTN or something similar. Which isn't a bad idea. But I kinda want to stay away from that if I can. Okay, you are going to be motors. Okay, we are still waiting. We are still waiting. How's this going? Oh, it is going. Not exactly there yet. But holy moly, this will make a lot of motors. It's not going to be 2 full belts. But it's still going to be 5,000 per minute. Which is a very significant improvement over whatever the fuck this has been for the last 1 million years. So you're just waiting for these, or? I mean, ooh. Man, you're correct. This is not enough. This is not enough. We need to do this, unfortunately. So it needs to be more than a belt, or more than half a belt. Otherwise that ain't working. So you are providing motors. You're gonna go to passive provider motors, which is here. You're gonna go full cargo. Then you're gonna go to request motors, empty cargo. I'm gonna hitch a ride with this guy. It's the only spot you'll be going to will be down here, which is fine. Okay, this is struggling as well. You are struggling with steel gear wheels. Steel gear wheels. It's kind of understandable. Let's double that up. Okay, so you are going to this full cargo, and then you are going up depot circuit condition. So I don't think we'll be full here yet. Okay, you are unloading your first 20k or so, which is insanely nice. Did we fix the steel thing? Well, kinda, but we're also eating a lot of steel now. And by a lot of steel, I mean we're eating the whole frickin' belt. I need a beacon with these. Put that in there, please. Okay. So whenever you're full, you're gonna go up top. And when you are here, you'll find request this empty cargo. You go downstairs, you go depot, and then repeat. Okay. We'll take this out and be kind of done with that. Another thing that we really need to be looking at is rare metals. We are a little bit struggling with this. This is not difficult at all to make. Question is, would we ever want to do this with vulcanite? I kinda don't know, man. We're gonna have to take a look at rare metal processing next time, for sure. For sure. Anyway, we are getting our motors out here. Not all of them though, but at least a couple of them. There's 1.3k here. Okay, we do have a ton of motors in our system now. You're actually lacking processing units. Now, this is another thing that we should just be sending into this, basically. Processing unit. And how are we doing with ye old processing units? We are making those here. This is pretty full. This is pretty full. Yeah. This is also something that we should be getting into. We're trading advanced circuits for holmium, pretty much. I think we should make that trade. Okay, holmium disagrees with that. Holmium actually disagrees with that. How are we... Is that Ogun? Okay, this is not exactly done, yeah? We probably need to find more holmium so we can increase this process, yeah. Okay. But holmium is a pretty easy peasy thing to get at the moment. Just want to double check on our vulcanite. Apparently we have 5k. Where's the train? You are here and you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is fine. Oh, you have 78k Vita Melange. That's pretty juicy. That is pretty juicy. Not a lot of bio scrubbers, but that's pretty much to be expected. Right now, we are unable to spend the amount of this that we have, which I find interesting. We might want to see if we can increase this a little bit. I mean, it's going well, don't get me wrong, but having more would probably be better. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. We didn't have enough time to finish this. Processing units to space is definitely the next thing here. Yeah, the stone thing is kind of cringe, but we're gonna have to have a train that takes stone up here. So stone processing units are the things that we actually need up here. Right now, we're gonna have to take a look at a lot of those things. Anyway, if you like my content, consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a really nice day.